everybody, and welcome to the Throwdown. It's Jim Flanagan, and I'm alongside here, as always, my partner, Giant. Giant, how the hell are you over there, man?
www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Guys, we're in week number 7 for the Throwdown. Lots of exciting things going on. We got the indoor West Rock League tonight. We didn't get the video because of Mother's Day on Sunday, so we hope all of you had a wonderful Mother's Day as well as we did. Mine was fantastic until I went by my in-laws, and all hell breaks loose. What happens when you go by the in-laws? You know, shit goes down sometimes. Shit goes awry. It doesn't matter, baby, because we got lots of things going on in the ACFL, especially a new item this week by none other than my co-host, cohort in crime, Jim Flanagan, aka Mr. Hollywood. He made the player cards this week, Flanny. This is hot to death. You got Ramon over here, Baby Boy, Andrew, Sally Buns, Jared Allen, Utah. I mean, how awesome is this?
Yeah. It's a new thing, you know what I mean? I'm always thinking different stuff, different features, whether it's highlights, whether it's videos, or whether it's graphics, just posted earlier. I'm looking to probably get like 5 different cards each week, you know. So some of the players that are not on there, I'll try to get them, you know. By the end of the season, I should have a majority of the guys there, you know. So yeah, it's input's always welcome, you know. What do you guys like about them, or something you guys want me to change on there or add to the cards? Definitely let me know, you know. So. I think they look great, man. I think they're great. You know, it's something new.
Fantastic.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
and that goes
fantastic.
along with all the player stats, man. I mean, we got the stats. I update those giant within 24 hours of the Thursday night games. So it's up on the Google link on there, and I always update those so you guys could check out the leaderboards, the player stats, team stats. It's all on there, man.
Yeah, now Hollywood, the quarterback, he really didn't want to even get his face on there. We got a backside shot. Eddie's over there. Garrow's over there. Cesar is over there. Brad is over there. Jerome. These guys are all jacked up and in shape and stuff like that too, man. It looks like instead of feeding their mouths, they're feeding their arms and shit.
You think we
All
gotta get
right.
a player card of me and you, man?
Oh, no. We don't need no player cards. We need inspirational cards so we don't get out of shape like us guys. So let's go on into the highlights for this week. There are the games from West Rock. The videos are up there, guys. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you click the like button on the ACFL football on YouTube and subscribe to them as well. We appreciate the feedback as usual, except from the usual suspect. You know who you are.
And
So we
Giant,
got it. Yeah.
yeah. So I got the full games, and actually, the day before, I also made a highlight reel of each week up to this point, man. All 6 weeks. You guys could check it out. I know guys like to see the full games, which they're up there. If you want to see the full games, you know, whether it's scouting purposes or whatnot, but. You know, some guys, Giant, they want to see the highlights. You know, they don't want to see the drop balls, you know, or the missed snaps or whatever. So I put the best plays in each on there. You know, like a highlight, like a ESPN, uh, highlight reel basically. So all that is on there, all 6 weeks. You know, you guys could check those out. It's a roundup for the indoor. And I'm also gonna do the South when I get a chance, for the touch as well. But all 6 weeks are already up, man.
Yeah, and I'm anticipating that this indoor league is going to grow as well. I know it's an additional day, but when the summer league comes, this is this is a controlled climate atmosphere. So if there's terrible weather out there, if you're tired of having a sweaty, hairy Balzac, you guys know what I'm talking about. I think this can grow in popularity. I just don't know about all the videos. There's only so much that Jim Flanagan could film over here, guys. But it is very exciting,
I
and this is obviously the most stats
Giant,
that we got. Go ahead.
Giant, I haven't missed a game in the indoor. Hell yeah, I haven't missed a play on video in the indoor. So it's all on there. That's how we get all these stats. And yeah, if it grows, it'll be great because then we could utilize both Tuesday and Thursday nights. It's on the weeknights, and you speak about the weather. Absolutely, man. I mean, look at this past weekend, Sunday poured, with the rain, and looks like we're getting more rain. But in the indoor Thursday night, it doesn't matter, man. It could be a hurricane out there. The games are going to be played. So.
Yeah, unless a tree topples on that, like it did all over the metropolitan tri-state area. We hope everybody and their families were safe during yesterday's towards that storm the other day. It was absolutely insane. A couple of people passed away too,
Yeah.
sadly.
Daughter
All
had
right,
like
guys.
a 2 hour delay for school, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was crazy up by me.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Branches all over the fucking place. All right, guys. We got Express 4-0 versus the Punishers 0-4, and the Punishers, no surprise, got three turnovers in the first half, two interceptions. They allowed one safety, and it's 14-0 Express at the half. All Express in the second half scoring 21 points. Absolutely pathetic performance as usual from the gluttons of Punish. The Punishers getting routed 35-0. Hollywood with 5 touchdown passes. He's catching up to Kenny really fast. Sally Buns with 3 touchdown catches, tied in the first, tied number one in the league with 7 on the season. Punishers scoreless for the third straight week and remain winless at 0-5. And Express, absolutely the team to beat. They remain undefeated at 5-0. Flatty, how much more can we go over this game? It's an absolute rout. Pathetic performance by the Punishers. They need big time changes over here. What can they do? Can they get a win this season?
They need something, John. Forget about wins, man. I know they're winless on here, but right now they're in a phase where they're scoreless. They haven't scored in 3 weeks now, so that's a big concern on there. Um, I mean, they played the champs. I mean, they're playing Express team, and Express is gonna light the board, and that's what they did. Hollywood, I think that's 2 weeks straight where he's got 5 TD passes, and that's why he's catching up to Kenny. He's only one behind them, not far off, man. So, um, but for the Punishers, yeah, I mean, they're trying different quarterbacks on there. Nothing's working right now. They're not getting any points. Um, I think a big part also, I haven't seen Lewis for this team. Here's a guy that's got points for them on receiving and as well as on the defensive side. He had a defensive interception to the house, but he hasn't been there. I think they gotta utilize their receivers much better. They got a guy that's like 7 feet tall, giant. He's jacked. Talking about Mo, number 23. They gotta get him the ball, man. They gotta get him the ball. So maybe go for the deep balls. Why not? I
Right,
mean,
right. Yeah.
throw the deep bomb to him. He's tall. He's a receiver. What worst thing could happen? You get picked off. It works out like a punt. You
Or
know.
you just throw it away. You try to tip the ball away. But if you get a 50-50 ball in there, at least give Mo a shot. You're absolutely correct.
Jerome's not looking good at all when they put him in the quarterback spot. I know, scrambling, yes, but as far as throwing the ball, I think he's got like 5 interceptions on the season. So maybe Tyree might be the guy to go with. I think they should use Jerome maybe as a drop-off guy there. Have him block up there and then just drop it off to him. Or do a little screen to the wide receiver. I mean, you got this big, tall receiver in Mo. Not only can he catch, but he's a good blocker out there. So get the wide receiver screen and then just fake it sometimes and go for the deep bomb.
Sounds like
Alex
they
is.
might need. It sounds like they might need a head coach like Jim Flanagan too.
I
Maybe
mean,
they could use
Alex is
that
another
too.
great receiver on that team. So, I mean, for them to be, not just winless, but scoreless last 3 weeks, they got to do something, whether it's on the offensive side or defensive side. Somebody's got to score on this team to get any type of momentum going at this point. And we'll see what happens this week. Hopefully, they don't go 4-4 on shutouts.
All right, so we'll move on to the next game. We got Revolution 1-3 versus Second Gen 3-1. starting quarterback for Revolution, McLaughlin. He's a fantastic quarterback. And Ramon with a touchdown catch for second gen, and Garrow touchdown catch for Revolution early in the game. It's 6-6. Kenny is then intercepted by Lockdown, but Revolution turns the ball back to second gen. Roger Marcus with the interception and return for the touchdown. Revolution runs out of time before the half and can't score. 12-6. Second gen at the half.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, McLaughlin. I take back what I said last week. I said whether McLaughlin's in this game or not, it's not gonna be a factor. It sure as hell was, man. McLaughlin not being in the game here. They had to go with Andrew and quarterback. Not taking anything away from Andrew here, but McLaughlin's the guy here for Revolution. Him not being there was a big part. And the reason why, Giant, here we go. Kenny throws a pick, you get the ball, and then you give it right back to the second gen team. Not only that, they take it back to the house. So now you're down. Instead of trying to, the game was tied up at that point. So instead of them trying to take the lead against second gen, now they're down 6. But a big play, big possession was at the end of the half, Giant. There was over 2 minutes left. They had the 2-minute warning. You got the 2 timeouts on there. And they had to rush their plays. They didn't even get the 4th down off. Here's what happened. The ref, somebody called timeout on the field. Revolution said they did not use it. They should have said they did. They should have took the timeout because what ended up happening, they took.
Stops the clock.
Here's the thing: they took off like 30 seconds off the clock. So now Revolution only had like 5 seconds to go on 3rd down. So. And second gen brings the blitz. The second mistake the quarterback did here, I think McLaughlin, a much more veteran, probably wouldn't have allowed this. Not only in getting the timeouts and getting their team to get the plays off, but second gen brings the blitz. The right thing to have done at that point, instead of forcing a quick pass, which they did, it was incomplete, and that was the half. He should have just spiked the ball. Him spiking the ball on there would still allow them at least one play where he's not being rushed. They can't use the blitz. They can only use the blitz once. So, that did not happen. So, but I think a lot of it was frustrations on the timeouts and stuff and the time clock, and maybe just forgot about that. But I think that could have been part because they could have easily tied this game at half. Otherwise now they're down 6 and second gen getting the ball in the second half.
All right, so the start of the second half, Kenny gets intercepted again. Lockdown with a great play on the ball results in Garces getting the interception. But Revolution once again gives the ball back to second gen. Ramon intercepts the ball and returns that for a touchdown. More offensive struggles by Revolution as Dan Brown with the sack, resulting in a safety. Second gen tacks on another score, goes on to win 26-6. Second gen improves 4-1 Revolution. They go down the gutter continuously, 1-4 for the season. Pathetic performance. You make these mistakes, Revolution, you got no shot whatsoever, Flanny. It's very sad to see. And I get, you see McLaughlin's out, but still, there's got to be the guy's got to make some plays too. Don't make some boneheaded, stupid shit plays either, because that absolutely kills the team.
And I really like this Revolution team, man. I do. I really do. And for them to be at 1-4, it's just uncalled for. They are not a 1-4 team, but on paper they are, man. And a loss is a loss. And here's another one against second gen. So now they've lost twice this season against second gen. In that second half, Giant, I mean, yes, again, and Kenny for the second gen had, I'll say it right now, man, he had a bad game. I don't care what anyone says. Kenny did not have a good game at all.
You're correct. I absolutely agree.
Look, he had 3 interceptions in this game. He had more interceptions than touchdowns that he threw. I think he only threw like 1 or 2 touchdowns in this entire game. The other ones were scored off defensive interceptions to the house. So when you got Kenny playing poorly like that. Revolution defense played out of their minds in this game, man. Garces had 2 picks, Lockdown had the other pick, but when your offense is throwing 2 picks to the house. They're getting a safety against them. That's 14 points right there. You take those 14 points off the board, it's only a 12-6 game. So, and then if the offense could actually score on there, but that was the big part, you know. One thing with the Revolution, I haven't seen Weeze out there in a while. He hasn't been there. A lot of roster guys have not been there for the Revolution team besides the quarterback. And, without him being there as well, Andrew having two quarterback on there, it takes a lot from this offensive team. I think they're a much better force when they have these guys on the field. Weeze is a great receiver. He hasn't been there for like the last couple of weeks. McLaughlin not being there, and playing a second gen team here that's red hot right now, looking to play Express.
Yeah. All right. So let's go on to the predictions. We got at 7 on Thursday, 7 p.m. Second gen 4-1 versus MPI 2-2. This is obviously the game of the week because when you guys hear the next game, you're just going to laugh your ass off or you're going to vomit, one of the two. So this game should be good, but the last time these guys played each other, second gen won 28-12. I personally think it's going to be much closer, but that second gen will still squeak it out. I think they're going to take this game 21-20. Flanny, who you got on this?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I gotta go with second gen. And this is the week. This is the game before they play Express in 2 weeks. So yeah, I gotta go with second gen. I mean, the first meeting there for NPI was actually their first game of the season against second gen. They're a much better team, I think, now. I think it's gonna be a lot closer game than their first meeting. But second gen, when they come with older guys, they actually came out with some new players this past week. Even their backups, Giant, are force. I mean, so whether their guys show up or not, the backups play just as good. So for the second gen team, which is stacked on here on the roster side, and I think it's going to be difficult against for this NPI team. I think MPI's got to get everybody out there, man. I mean, Shockey's got to be there. Sometimes he's there, he's not. I don't know who's quarterbacking for their team. So here's another team that's kind of struggling as far as the quarterback spot goes. And, that's not a good sign. Whereas, Kenny's been playing all season there for second gen. So that's where I got to give the quarterback side, even though Kenny's thrown 6 picks this season, he's a gunslinger, man. So it's going to happen. But, TDs, points for second gen gets my vote.
All right, and the next game, as Express has a bye week, the next game is the Revolution 1-4 versus none other than the Punishers, who are 0-5. I mean, you could have Jerome be the quarterback for Revolution. They'll win this game. That's how sick, sad, and pathetic the Punishers are. Flanny, what else you got on this one, man?
Yeah, I mean, both teams struggling right now. And this Punishers team actually put up 14 points. They were up 14-0 in that game, their first meeting, but then ended up losing 45-14. But they did put points, and that's what they need. So hopefully they get that on here. I don't know. I mean, both teams been struggling. Don't be surprised if Punishers come out with a win here, because they sure so could. Um, but Revolution, I think McLaughlin should be back this week, man. If he's not, this could be a coin toss, man. Easily as a coin toss. But um, uh, again, 0-5, I can't take him. Unfortunately, I'm going with Revolution. Almost, they almost had me, man. Almost.
All right, guys. So we're going to move on to the ACFL South, and unfortunately, the details are not really there due to the fact that Jim Flanagan was unable to film the games. So we're just going to go over the finals, and we're going to make our predictions. So the Jokers 3-2 versus the Six 2-3, and the Jokers, they get back on the right track, winning 20-0 shutout. So even the defense came out to play for the Morris Jokers. Fantastic game for them. And the six offense continue to struggle. They got 0 points, Jim.
Yeah. Well, we talk about this Jokers team, how great their offense is. But with this shutout here, Giant, I think that puts them as the number one defensive team now. So, it's big. But, the six, again, once again, the struggles continue. Can't put up points offensively, man. You know, they get shut out here. Some of the games, other games, they only put up like 2 points, maybe a touchdown, two at the most. So, when you're playing a Joker's team here, that defense is great, and they only gave up 20 against the Jokers, but you can't score any points, Giant. You can't win.
Absolutely correct. All right, so moving on to the next game. We got All Madden 3-2 versus the Warriors 2-3. And Madden ends up winning it, which I think I think that's what we ended up both of us calling that last week. And I mean the Warriors actually they put a lot of effort into this game. Final score 18-14 All Madden. Not too shabby play by both teams. Looks like it was a fight out and a brawl over here between the two teams for this final score, Flanny.
Yeah, Warriors surprisingly made this a game, Giant. We did pick All Madden to win this one, but I thought it was going to be a much bigger win there by All Madden. But factor in the weather conditions this past Sunday, Mother's Day as well. So who knows who was there for this All Madden team? And did maybe the Warriors quarterback actually showed up for this game? So, and they're up and down team. One week they get blown out, other week they win or make a competitive game. This was the week the Warriors actually made this a competitive game.
That's very
So
fascinating that you mentioned that. How many people were out due to the fact that it was
yeah,
Mother's Day?
I know I was out, but listen, here's what I gotta say, Giant. It was Mother's Day. Yes, I was not there, but we got 2 weeks left here for the South Touch, and I think after this Thursday, it's 3 weeks for the indoor. You know, I guarantee you this though, Giant. Come playoff time, yes, I might not get all the games in the regular season. Come playoff time. I'm not only going to get the championship game, I'm not only going to get the semifinals, I'm getting every round, man, every playoff game, both in the indoor and the South Touch. So I guarantee that for you guys.
Big things coming, and this is the upset of the season. The Wolverines 0-5 versus 10-yard fight 5-0, and this wasn't even close, ACFL family. The Wolverines win 38-18. I believe that was the score. And the Wolverines get their first win, and 10-yard fight, their perfect season was squashed. Who knows what happened over here, Flanny?
well, Well, the score wasn't even posted. I mean, maybe the Wolverines they haven't won a game yet, so maybe they're not used to posting the win. But somebody did, and I believe it was 38-18. That's what it says on the boards, but it's not officially in yet. But if somebody on the Wolverines team can post that, man, make it official on there. But listen, I'm not surprised with this win. A lot of people may be, 1-5 team against 5-0 team, but I told you guys Wolverines can come in this game and win and pull the upset, and that's exactly what they did here, Giants. So no longer is this the Cleveland Wolverines. No longer is this the 0-5 team. You could call the Wolverines, Giant, as the team that put the only loss for against the 10-yard fight, man. They're the only team that ended the perfect season there for 10-yard fight, and I think that's big momentum coming in.
Yeah, I think it's wobbly for 10-yard fight. I mean, something critical had to happen here. If we could get a report, a scouting report from the Wolverines or 10-yard fight as to what the hell happened here, I think that would be fantastic too for future discussions. But we got a bunch of games going on this weekend as well. Starting at 8:45, 10-yard fight, 5-1 versus the 6, 2-4. Last time 10-yard fight won 14-2. Can the 6 put up some points? I don't think so. I think 10-yard fight is going to continue their winning.
Yeah, I think they bounced back this week. They lost last week, man, but they bounced back. The Six, yeah, only 2 points in their last meeting. The Six got shut out last week, and I gotta go. I think 10-yard fight bounces back. They have to, man. They gotta bounce back here to try to hold on to that number one spot. Because a loss here, Giant, a loss here puts us in week 8, then where it's anybody's game.
Oh, they're definitely down. They got 1 foot in the grave if they lose this week against the Six. So I definitely think that's the case. Next
Hey,
game
get this, man.
penciled.
I
Yeah.
hope we're not. We haven't taken 10-yard fight all season long. The week that we do, they they get beat. So, hey, I'm gonna take 10-yard fight from here on out.
All right, guys. The next game is 10:15 a.m. The Morris Jokers 4-2, excuse me, versus All Madden 4-2. Last time the Jokers won this matchup 19-6, but that was all the way back in week number 2, as we mentioned earlier. This is week number 7 already. So All Madden is on a 3-game winning streak, and I'm going to take the hot hand. I'm taking All Madden on this game.
hmm Yeah, it's definitely the game of the week here. 4-2, both teams here, and they each want to win. They definitely want to win, man. A loss here actually brings them to 3 losses on the season for either squad here. And yeah, last time it was week 2. It was also that week where it was that bad storm, bad windy, rainy storm. It was a low score 19-6 game. I think it's going to be a lot different game here. A lot of both of these teams have a different roster as well. They've got some new talent on there, and you know what? I gotta agree with you, Giant. I'm also taking Ole Madden in this one. I think they get the win. They're hot right now, and until somebody beats them, man, I gotta take them. I think they go on a 4-game winning streak after this week.
Guys, it's just like the NFL. It's not what have you been doing for me. It's what have you been doing for me lately. Man, I don't care. It's a, oh, who's number one cover cornerback past 4 years? Uh, yeah, yeah, okay. So it's what's his face from the Seahawks? I forgot his name. Number uh, oh, yeah, whatever his name is. And then you're like, wait a minute, what have you done the past 2 years? And he's like number 20 cornerback in the league. So get out of my face, man. It's what have you been doing for me lately? All right. And the final matchup, which could be an absolute snooze fest, is the Warriors 2-4 versus the Wolverines 1-5. Now the Wolverines got that win, but I just don't know enough details, and they just suck too much for me to pick them. They've sucked too much the 5 weeks before this past week, so I'm still taking the Warriors to win this one. Last time the Warriors won 18-12. I think it will be a competitive matchup, but that the Warriors squeak this one out 28-21. Flanny, who you got on this one?
Not so fast, Giant man. I'm going the other way. Wolverines coming off a big win here, and now they're playing this Warriors team, which is an up and down team. A win here by the Wolverines, Giant. Last week, Wolverines put the only loss in the column of the 10-yard fight. This week, they get a chance to uh, move up in the rankings here because they win here. They go to 2-5. Warriors drop to 2-5, but they get this head-on-head meeting, and it might actually place the Wolverines ahead of the Warriors with a win here. So. They got that going for them. So, like you mentioned, it's what you've been doing recently. Hey, Wolverines have won while the Warriors lost last week. So, I'm going with the hot hand. I'm going with the Wolverines. I don't think it was a fluke.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. We got our predictions. That we don't always get our predictions right, guys. Anything else you got on your plate, Flanny?
Other than that, like I said, I did some highlight reels. I'll try to do the same for the touch.
Yeah,
Def
yeah. Make sure you guys check that out because that highlight reel is absolutely fantastic. The season to date video over there on YouTube and on the message boards on ACFL.net. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a season to date highlight reel.
Yeah, And I'll be there filming. Giant rain, shine, whatever, snow, even if it snows this week, I'll be there for the game. So definitely want to see that Madden and Joker's game. That definitely will be on film this week. So I guarantee that, as well as the indoor as always. So we'll have a lot of footage recaps here for the next show. Absolutely.
All right, guys, that's all we got for tonight. Make sure you guys continue to check us out, www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Jim Flanagan, Giant918, signing out. Have a good night, everybody.